FBI officers were sad to see that in the jail, where prisoners couldn't escape if left free under the authorities, 3 prisoners managed to escape. The most shocking thing was that the jail authorities didn't even know about this for the next 10 hours. Not only the FBI, but also the top 3-level agencies in the US struggled hard to solve this case. We are talking about a jailbreak that has been both confusing and a mystery for the world for the past 60 years. In the Pacific Ocean, there is a small island that expands around 22 acres, and it is where the most dangerous prisoners were kept. This island, famous with the name Alcatraz, is built on a huge rock in the ocean, which is why it is also known as the Rock. The island is surrounded by water over a vast distance, and for additional protection, a 15-foot-high fence has been constructed around it. With 24-hour monitoring by jail officers, it is located in the open Pacific Ocean, where the island is constantly battered by strong winds and waves. Considering all these conditions, in 1934, it was declared a federal prison with high security measures. In short, once someone was inside, it was considered impossible for them to escape on their own because the jail was deemed impenetrable. However, on July 12, 1962, the illusion of Alcatraz's invincibility was shattered when 3 prisoners skillfully fooled the security and managed to escape. The main characters of this story are 4 individuals. John William Anglin and Clarence Anglin were brothers who were involved in a bank robbery and were imprisoned. Next is Frank Morris, who has been in and out of jail since the age of 13. He was also sent to Alcatraz for his involvement in a bank robbery. Lastly, there is Alan West, who had made multiple attempts to escape from other prisons and was imprisoned in Alcatraz for maximum security. Alan West had been in this jail for a long time and was familiar with the layout of the prison. In 1960, Alan West shared his escape plan with his fellow inmates to escape from Alcatraz. Alan discovered a loophole in Block B of the jail, which provided a possibility for escape. The challenge was that the 4 individuals did not have their cells in Block B, so they had to find a way to get transferred there. Surprisingly, the jailer eventually relocated all 4 prisoners to Block B, placing them together. Their first objective was achieved, all 4 prisoners were now housed in Block B. For the next 2 years, nobody knew what they were doing in their cells. On July 12, 1962, as part of the routine, the jail staff went to wake up all the prisoners at 7 o'clock in the morning. During the assembly count, it was discovered that 3 prisoners were missing. The staff double-checked all the cells in Block B, where they found the Anglin brothers and Frank Morris sleeping in their beds. This raised suspicion, and the staff tried to wake them up. It was then they realized that the heads on the beds were actually dummy heads made of soap, plaster, and concrete. One of the dummy heads had fallen and broken, which can be seen in a photo. After discovering the escaped prisoners, the entire jail staff was shocked and concerned about how 3 prisoners managed to escape from an island where they believed it was impossible to leave. They conducted an extensive search of the island but found no evidence. Despite the high level of security measures in place, 3 prisoners still managed to escape, and it was revealed that Alan West was not among them even though he was the mastermind behind the entire plan. An investigation team was assembled, and the FBI was notified. During their investigation, they discovered that the prisoners had broken the wall of a ventilation window to make their escape. To their surprise, they found that not only 3, but all 4 ventilation windows on the other side of the wall were damaged. The 4th damaged window belonged to Alan West, who was unable to escape for some reason. Realizing that there was no chance for him to escape now, Alan West decided to cooperate with the investigators. He revealed that he was the mastermind behind the escape plan and explained that they had created the dummy heads. The hair used for the dummy heads was obtained during haircuts in the jail. Each of the 4 cells had a small ventilation window measuring 5 by 9.5 inches. Alan was aware of these loopholes in the cell's construction because of his experience working in jail maintenance. He knew that the walls were only 6 inches thick, making it possible to increase the size of the ventilation window holes. For 6 months, the 4 prisoners seized opportunities to create a hole around the vent using stolen spoons from the kitchen. Eventually, they managed to construct a drill machine using the motor from a vacuum cleaner. To keep their activities hidden, they strategically placed musical instruments or other items in front of the drill, taking advantage of the loud voices during musical hours in the jail blocks. They opened the vent in a corridor where there was no security and accessed a drain pipe that led to the top of the block's roof. Most of their escape preparations were conducted during maintenance work, which kept the prisoners occupied in Alcatraz. While on the roof, they observed and took note of every detail for their escape plan. They utilized another pipe to descend and then scaled the 15-foot-high fence surrounding the island. They had made thorough preparations, including constructing inflatable rafts from rubber raincoats. These raincoats were provided by the jail administration, which the prisoners had been collecting through various excuses. Additionally, they created a makeshift life jacket from a raincoat to ensure they wouldn't sink in case the raft didn't function as intended. The main question for the FBI was the whereabouts of the escaped prisoners. The 4th companion revealed that as per the plan, they were supposed to pass through the north of Alcatraz and make their way to the mainland via Angel Island, where the security was minimal. Once on the mainland, they planned to steal a car and obtain new clothes. Despite extensive scanning and searching in the vicinity of Alcatraz, there were no reports of thefts or robberies. The escapees had managed to deceive the seemingly impenetrable security, leaving behind no clues. However, there were footprints on top of Block B, evidence of a secret workshop where the escape tools were created, and footprints near the pipe they used to descend. These footprints validated Alan West's story and added to the mystery. In addition to the FBI, the Bureau of Prisons and the U.S. Marshals Service were involved in the case. They commenced a search in the ocean, but neither the prisoners nor the raft nor a life jacket was found. The case was becoming more of a mystery than a typical police investigation. In the following 4 days, a floating paddle made of wood, believed to be a part of the raft, was discovered. 2 bags made from raincoats were also found, containing personal belongings of the prisoners such as family photos and letters. This led to the conclusion that the prisoners did not reach the mainland alive, as these were items that no prisoner would willingly leave behind. Despite this discovery, no dead bodies or body parts were found in the water surface for several months, which puzzled the investigation team. An alternative theory suggested that the prisoners might have reached the mainland by swimming rather than using the raft. Following the 1962 escape, the FBI closely monitored the family of the Anglin brothers. Their nephew, David Widner, informed the FBI that their older brother had told his sister before his death that the brothers were still alive, doing well, and in contact with him. Several family members reported sightings of 2 females wearing strange makeup on special occasions, which could potentially be John and Clarence, indicating that they had altered their facial appearance. However, after those sightings, the 2 females were never seen again. Additionally, 15 years after the escape, a cousin of the Anglin brothers claimed to have seen them in a club in Brazil and captured their photo. However, the investigators from the U.S. Marshals Service believed that the individuals in the photo did not match the age progression of the Anglin brothers. This was considered the last reported sighting of the Anglin brothers, and since then, their whereabouts remain unknown. The following year after the escape, Alcatraz was closed in 1963. In 1979, the FBI officially closed the case, as they had lost hope of solving it. Currently, the case remains open only with the U.S. Marshals Service, which will continue to investigate until the prisoners are captured, their bodies are found, or they reach the age of 99. Alcatraz Island has since become a national park, where tourists can visit and see the cells in Block B where the Anglin brothers, Frank Morris, and their fellow inmate Alan West were once held around 60 years ago.